Hey, what's up, Sock Jar? So, last night I got an email from one of you, and it was just a link to a YouTube channel. Now, being the curious pup that I am, and no, this is not an invitation to link me to your Let's Play channels and your SoundClouds, I followed it, and I came across a League of Legends channel that was created by none other than Jontron, and it's incredible, to be honest. There's not a lot of videos on there, and it's all from like 5+ years ago. But seeing one of my favorite YouTubers, not just having tried the game, not just having played it for YouTube, but being level 30, and in his videos, he's playing ranked, and showing an actual knowledge for the game, it's fucking mind-blowing to me. And I'm definitely overplaying it, because for all I know, you guys maybe all have seen this before, or maybe some of you guys haven't even been pushed towards the comedic Goliath that is Jontron. Funny story regarding him, actually. I almost played Counter-Strike with him one time. I was playing CSGO with my friend who used to do CSGO videos, and because H3H3 Productions used to be part of our friend group, just when he was like starting out his channel, I think I first interacted with him on Facebook like when he had like 3,000 subs, or when he was streaming at that point. But he joined us for one of the games for one of my friend's videos. Okay, I'm just going for the bomb, dude.
No, kill him. He's
yeah, get the bomb, plant it, plant it, aye.
Sean, don't use the up, he's only got 10. Only 10 hit points. Turn around, Sean!
Sean, I see you left!
Left, dude.
Kobe!
Behind you! Yes!
Yes!
He went on to invite Jontron, but he didn't end up coming because we were recording, which is pretty understandable because he didn't want to have everything he said be put into a video that he knew nothing about. And that's pretty much my only claim to fame at this point, beyond having Keemstar on Skype and having PewDiePie follow me on Twitter. Leave me alone. So you're probably already wondering where the hell I'm going with this. Well, I was lying in bed watching one of John's videos on League of Legends, one of his gameplays, and he was playing Soraka bot lane, and he said something that kind of caught my attention. But let me just play you a clip of it.
I'm kind of against the idea of playing support in ranked solo queue, because you're dependent on your team, really, when you're playing something like this. If you know, I prefer to carry the team than to be the one hoping the team doesn't suck. Okay, there's a Skarner.
And this is something that made me realize that despite the massive change to League of Legends over the years, despite the fact that 5 years ago, this was pretty much an entirely different ball game, the strats were different, Christ, even half the champions in this game are completely different to what they were back then, but the same bizarre outlook in League remains. Oh, alongside Swain, who's just an excellent summoner. Now, I was playing ranked a while ago, and it was a stomp of a game. I was bot lane, and we were stomping hard. Mid lane stomped hard. Our jungler was really fed. Everywhere except our Gnar top lane was doing really well. And Gnar wasn't even doing badly. He was like 2 and 3 in lane. And as we were moving into their base to take an inhibitor, our Gnar typed in chat that he hated what was going on. He hated being carried, and he hated not being the one to carry the game. And it made me realize that this is pretty much the mindset that has ruined God knows how many games for God knows how many people. And it's probably quite literally the worst mindset that you could have for climbing in League of Legends. Unless you're like a Smurf, in which case, yeah, you're probably going to have to do that. But we're talking about real players here. And getting rid of it as soon as possible is probably the best thing that you can do. You might be sitting there thinking, how is that a bad mindset? What's wrong with carrying the game? And you're right, there is nothing wrong with carrying when you're in a good position to do so. In fact, you should always strive to play well and help carry, or at least play consistently. That's like the main thing for me. I always try and play consistently well. I might not carry, but at least I hopefully should win more games than I lose by doing that. It's not always the case, but there you go. But it is this mindset and this attitude that makes people play fucking terribly. And I mean terribly. You know when your top laner is 0-2 and you ask him to play safe, only to have him die literally 15 seconds later under your enemy's tower? You can blame that exact mindset for that one. That moment when you see your 0-6 Garen going full AD, despite the fact that he cannot even get close to the enemy to utilize that damage before he's dead, even though all other lanes are winning, what do you know? It's that exact same mindset that's killing your game for you again. Now, this mindset is often talked about as people not knowing how to play from behind, but I kind of think of it in a different way. I think of it in a way that a player is not really wanting to admit that they are a side character in their own power fantasy. Now, League of Legends is an escape for people, right? You play as fantasy warriors who do ridiculous shit and they battle and all that nerdy crap, right? The last thing that you want to do when you play a fucking fantasy game, a game that you're playing to forget all your troubles in the real world, your schoolwork, all that kind of stuff, is be considered useless. Now I like to compare it to a scene from the TV show Scrubs where the main character, JD, has a fantasy in which himself and his best friend are Batman and Robin, except that JD ends up actually being Alfred the Butler in his own fantasy.
Holy inferiority complex, Batman! How low is my self-esteem that I'm the sidekick in my own fantasy?
It could be worse, Robin. You could be Alfred the Butler.
Damn you, sir.
This is your team, and when you play from behind and do dumb shit and don't build accordingly, you're Alfred the Butler, a useless side character that is not resilient in combat. The thing with that though, is that following on from that idea, Alfred the Butler is a massive asset to Batman, and the utility that he provides is entirely needed for Batman to dropkick the shit out of people in Gotham. The amount of times that Alfred in the comics has saved Batman's ass from the dumb shit that he's done over the past 30 years is probably fucking immeasurable. And it's this logic that has made me realize that playing from behind is not really a bad thing. It's an opportunity to mix things up. Now, playing to your win condition is a big part of League of Legends, whether that be revolving your team around certain objectives or parts of the game, like having a peel-heavy team that protects a Vayne or a Kog'Maw or something like that. But identifying that win condition in solo queue is nigh on impossible because people find it very hard to admit the win condition might not actually be them. Now, I don't get the fact that people in solo queue always have this weird I'm better than everyone Dunning-Kruger feeling with everyone on their team, when everybody in the team might have like 600 games in ranked and you're undeniably where you are currently supposed to be until you happen to manage to progress or get a little bit better at the game. You'll get flamed for being bronze constantly for a few mistakes, or somebody will shit the bed and call each other noobs for the slightest little remark or even one death. Yet everybody in that elo, 99 times out of 10, has earned their place there and is entirely capable of playing at that elo. Now for me, it's pretty much the opposite. I've been filling a lot, I've been playing a lot of support, and it's to the point where rank just gives me a little bit of anxiety because I feel like everybody is better than me. Now that's not exactly true, I guess, because when I do actually get another role like mid or top or something, I do okay. But I'd like to think that it's because if I actually do get behind or I do fall behind, I can at least try and be an asset to my team and utility rather than damage. Now I had a game where I went like 3-7-17 on Malzahar mid or something, purely because I wasn't getting kills, and because of that, towards the mid game, I decided that instead of trying to make plays and get fat ulties on carries and get kills, I would just ulti whatever dipshit came remotely close to her Vayne, because at this point, we couldn't afford to lose her, and I wasn't about to be the one to carry if she died. And it totally worked. Vayne had a good 2 extra seconds of freedom while she fucking obliterated whatever tank I happened to grab, and her front line was busy holding off the enemy team to the point that Vayne was pretty much unstoppable in that game. Similar to that, I do play a lot of Annie if I happen to get mid lane, and I have won quite a few games where I'm just like, okay, I'm basically too weak to actually burst anybody down. However, I do have a massive AoE stun that I could possibly do something with. Or maybe, you know, that Soraka looks a little bit squishy. So I'll revolve everything I have around either eliminating that Soraka or trying to get a big ulti in the middle of a team fight, or just like stop the enemy carries from being able to do things rather than actually trying to kill them. And I might actually end up killing that Soraka, and even if I do die for it, the enemy team's just lost a health dispenser. They're probably not going to win that fight. Now this is kind of rambled on a little bit now, but what I'm trying to say is it's okay to do badly in lane. It's okay to get shit on, because God knows I've been shit on more times than I can even count. Honestly though, I find it way more impressive when somebody who did badly in lane builds right, comes back with a vengeance into the game, and plays smart and for the team, than if someone just straight stomps lane. It shows me that you have made some mistakes in the game, but your knowledge on how to win and close a game out is still pretty deep, and I respect anybody that builds tanky despite wanting to go full damage, or play smart even if it means leaving minions and only soaking XP behind tower. And that this crippling mindset that I talked about isn't affecting some people. Now have you ever had this mindset, or have you got any horror stories about people complaining about not being able to carry? I'm genuinely interested to know, so let me know in the comment section down below. But aside from that guys, thank you very much for watching yet another video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Oh, Astral Blessing gives increased armor. I thought it was armor and magic resist.
Let me guide you.
I don't think anybody's gonna need my wish.
An ally has been slain.
Are you kidding me? You make me look like a jackass? Who knew? I didn't see him. I was looking for somebody who needed a heal.